Hello, friends. Welcome back to TECHPLIXITY. I am happy to be here again today, and I want to say thank you for those who have chosen to watch our video. I want to believe that if you're watching this video right now, you're a genius. And then, yes, I also want to tell you that you have made the right choice and you won't regret this at all. Okay, I want to say a big thank you also to our returning subscribers. I want to say thank you for believing in us, to give you very good content, to be able to grow and to expand your knowledge in your chosen career. So moving on, today we want to discuss about OSI model and TCP/IP protocol suite. So I hope we're ready for the class for today. Before I continue, I want to also remind you to please give us a big thumbs up on this video and do not forget to subscribe also as well so that you will be the first to be notified whenever we have new content uploaded. All right, OSI model. So OSI model, we're going to start with a little bit of history, just very little. OSI model was first introduced in the 1970s by ISO. So here, what I'm talking about is OSI. OSI, the full meaning is the System, Open System Interconnection, which was launched or introduced first in the 1970s by ISO. This is the International Standards Organization. So ISO first introduced OSI model. This model is a layered model. It is a theoretical model and not necessarily like it's not a device, it's not a physical item that you should be expecting some kind of functions, when it comes to networking. No, it is actually more of an ideology. It is more of an understanding of how the network functions. It doesn't mean that in all the networks in various businesses that they have to be designed in the same way systematically. No, but it is just all about the ideology and the understanding of how network works. I would say that OSI model is more of a common language, or should I say a common networking language that removes ambiguity and also promotes clarity. So for network guys or for IT guys, excuse me, please, for IT guys, we are able to use this as our own common networking language to be able to understand the data communication and the flow of data in a network. So OSI model is, I'll define it as a set of protocol that shows communication between two different systems, regardless of their differences in architecture. So what it means is that you do not need to change the logic or of the hardware or the software of the device before they are able to communicate with each other. So OSI model is used to design the architecture of a network. Architectures that are flexible, architectures that are robust and also interoperable. So that means that for you to, when you're using the OSI model, you use it with the goal of designing a network that is flexible, robust, and interoperable. This OSI model is also a layered framework. It has 7 separate but yet related layers. That's like these layers define or shows the process of how data moves across the network. And in addition to this, or should I say, I would just, bring up a quick summary of all these things that I've explained now in the past few minutes, I'll say that OSI model helps us to understand data communication across the network. It helps us to have common understanding of how a network functions. It also helps us to design a flexible, robust, and interoperable network architecture. It facilitates the communication between two different systems. And lastly, I would say that it consists of different but related layers that supports data movement across the network. So OSI model, in my own opinion, I'll say is the most popular model. However, there is one we call the TCP/IP protocol suite, and this TCP/IP is actually the model that is mostly used and mostly implementable in real life, although OSI model is the most popular one, right? So OSI model shows the transparent stages of the communication of data in the network. It's very transparent. It's more transparent than the TCP/IP, which is compressed, right? So TCP/IP, let's look at this. TCP/IP means transmission control protocol. And IP means internet protocol. So that is TCP/IP, internet protocol. This TCP/IP was created by DoD. DoD is the Department of Defense. DoD, that's Department of Defense. So this Department of Defense were the ones that created TCP/IP, and TCP/IP rather has 5 layers compared to OSI model that has 7 layers. So that's the reason why I said earlier on that it is more compressed. It is more compressed compared to OSI model that shows all the exact layers. So in my future class, I'll be discussing in details each of these layers. However, for now, I would like us to discuss a bit further by using a real life example of how this model explains the data communication in networking. However, before I move further, I'd like to explain to you that for communication to occur, there is need for protocol. And protocol helps at least 2 entities to communicate. And when this communication becomes complex, the process is actually divided into layers, which means that we need more than one protocol to enable clarity in the communication process. So now I'm going to use a real life example. So let me just give you a quick story. So it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. You have to find somewhere really cool to spend the night or the weekend. So we decide to go to the club. So at the club, we have 2 beautiful humans, and that is John and Hannah, our 2 examples for tonight. So this is John, and then this is Anna. Sorry, this is John and Anna. So John speaks Spanish and Anna speaks English. So both of them are in the club. I'm just trying to make a real life example for you so that you understand the way this model works, right? So, and then the both of them really need to communicate because they like each other. They want to just enjoy the night and then have fun. But however, there is communication barrier because of the language differences. Excuse me, please. So these 2 find a way to communicate. So how do they communicate? For the night, since they're together, they use sign language and they use facial expressions to communicate with each other. They just like exchange phone numbers and then they decide to go ahead and enjoy the night. The night is over and these two had fun. And however, they needed to communicate even after then, right? So John picks his phone and then he decides to message Hannah, who speaks English. So what they do is John is the sender, being the guy, let's just assume, he is the sender. He sends the first because, Anna is waiting. She's a lady. Oh, don't worry. John is going to write me anyways. So she waits for John's message. So John sends, a message across. But John then sends this message in Spanish because that is what he understands. But then he knows that Anna doesn't speak Spanish. Then he uses the help of a translator. The translator in this case is Google. So here is Google. Mr. Google is here. Google is here. So Google helps us to translate Spanish to English. So then after the translation is done, then John uses a medium. He uses a medium to send this message to Hannah. So that medium is WhatsApp, our popular application, the WhatsApp. So WhatsApp helps us to send this information to our lovely Anna. On the other end, since John is the sender, on the other end, first thing first, WhatsApp, Anna's WhatsApp receives the English information, which is the medium. She reads it and then she's like, oh, okay, John finally, sent me a message. I'm so excited. I need to speak to him. And then she realizes that, oh, I speak only English. I don't speak Spanish. John understands Spanish. Then Anna uses the same medium, WhatsApp, to send message, but she first needs to do what? To translate. So she uses the help of a translator, Google, to translate our English message to Spanish. And then she is the receiver at first, right? But at this point, she has now become a sender too. So then she translates our English message to Spanish and then uses the medium again. She uses the medium WhatsApp to send the message back to John. She sends the message back to John in Spanish that John understands. So I hope you've been able to understand this message. So the first thing first is we are going to categorize the part where John, decides to send a message as one layer. We are going to see the translator stage as another layer. And then we are going to also see the medium of sending this message as another layer. So in this communication, we have 3 layers from the sender's side. And then we are also going to see another layer here. For the receiver, she had the first layer. Then when she wants to send a message, that is another layer. Then when she wants to translate a message, this is a fresh layer as well. And then when she finally decides to send a message to John, this is another layer. So for each part of the communication is a well-structured layer that helps us to send data across a network. That's the same way you would explain this OSI model or TCP/IP. So as I said earlier on, this is just a theoretical understanding of what the network does and how it functions. So I hope you've been able to understand or to be able to gather knowledge about the basic thing that OSI model does for us and TCP/IP as well. In my next lesson, I'll be explaining to you step by step each layer in the OSI model, and as well, I'm going to create another video for the TCP/IP. I'm not creating big videos because I want you to be able to understand how these things work and you do not feel like so overwhelmed by the information. I hope this section has been informative for you. I want to thank you for viewing. Please do not forget to give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel so that you'll be informed when I drop the next video. And if you have questions or you have any special topic you would like us to discuss, I'd like you to please drop a comment in the section below, and we will definitely look through it and create content for you in this area that you have requested for. I'd like to thank you once again for viewing, and I'll say have a lovely day and see you again soon. Bye.